That's a bad episode.
That's probably the quickest notification I've ever got, Judge.
You know, it just
Literally
tells you.
sitting there and he said, all right, let's do this. And then my phone was like, he's doing this. Usually it's good, solid 5-10 minutes afterwards.
What can I say, Ross Collins? I'm just moving fast these days. Life is just kind of happening. I don't know. It's weird. Never imagined all this. Never dreamed of all this. Here we are. What, 4? Not really 6 years since I started doing meet. No, 7 years. I was filming Washington County games in 2014. But you can go back and find them on YouTube. You kind of hear me do some commentary too.
Right.
You hear me coaching, like, yeah, good speed. Good times. Good times. What a tournament this weekend, though. That was pretty awesome. Great competition. Great times. Shout out to everybody at the Charm City Classic. Shout out to the directors, Terrell and Robbie, for making it happen. Shout out.
A lot going on there.
Shout out to the officials for helping out and staying strong in the heat. Shout out.
Couldn't do it without them, man.
Exactly. Shout out to the captains, the owners, GMs, coaches, whatever you want to call them, the guys who help put the teams together. They do a lot of work off the field to make it happen. Shout out to the players for putting in the work on the field that makes this sport great. Shout out to the media. Monet, Ben, Newkirk, you did work. You know what I'm talking to.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, Ross Collins.
That's me.
Got to call your first Charm City B chip. But how do you think? How did this compare to your last Charm City experience 2 years ago at the Raiders?
Way better.
Way better?
Way better.
Way better. All right.
I remember leaving Sunday a couple years ago or whatever. Pretty upset. Drove all the way down there. I don't think I played at all. Oh no, yeah, no, I got get on. Got in on the kick return. The kick return to Blackhawks actually. And it was actually right there on field 3 where I was all day yesterday for the most part until we moved to field 2. Did a little bit of field 2 work too.
You had a busy day. I had a busy day.
I was good with it, man. Sunday's grind day.
Yeah, it is. And you know what?
Like
Shout out to the work we did
on Saturday, man.
I think the coverage this weekend. I think the coverage this weekend was great. The players were great. Teams were great. Refs were awesome. Directors were awesome.
Had a great
They all
time.
put it together. It was a great effort. Vendors were great.
Had a great
Shout out
time.
Free Smoke Barbecue. Hashtag good vibes. They all did some good work this weekend. There's another vendor out there. I didn't catch the name of it. I apologize. I try to remember. Fatties was out there. Fatties. Yeah. Shout out for Fatties. Hometown. Yeah. Had to remember that.
That's where I went.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Fatties. God, man, I feel stupid for that, man.
Got cheeseburger,
Fatties is home.
fries.
Fatties is home.
It was on point.
Yeah, we got to bring Fatties back. We got to start putting Fatties out there on weekends again.
I give all the credit to Tyler for that one, man.
Yeah,
He has
Tyler
been
Spencer
pushing- he
has
has
pushed
been
very
on
hard
that,
and has done a
so,
great job for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I was glad to see you brought him down there.
Tyler does a
They
great
earned
job being a great ambassador.
They used
for
to be
like
our
that
only
stuff.
food source for a while. Like they would just randomly show
They
up.
would. And
Tyler would
Tyler's
tell
always
them
been a
about
big
it.
proponent of them. Like
Yeah.
he tried to get him up there a couple times at PA when we were running Pennsylvania with KFFL and Greencastle. We did spring up there. It was tough, the last few years. We hadn't seen much of Fatties, since they were there a few years ago. But it was great to see them make their comeback this weekend. I really hope everybody out there was able to make a great business and make things work out. If I forgot anybody out there vending, let me know. We sell food, water, and anything else to the people out there. That's what we needed. Like I really appreciate you guys for that. And it to me, it really, 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 really added to this
It
tournament.
was a great time.
Yeah, like you got to experience a gathering of 9 man's best in the area. Now there was a few faces missing, like it wasn't everybody coming together, but for the most part, every region was represented. GCFFA. We didn't get much. I don't think Rhode Island really came out to this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Connecticut Riot Squad, so the greater north up there.
I heard Connecticut wasn't really allowed out.
Riot Squad was there.
Riot Squad.
Yeah.
They're
from
Jersey, though,
Connecticut.
right?
Nah, they're Jersey and Connecticut.
Gotcha.
I've heard Connecticut mostly. If I'm wrong on that, let me know. What's up,
Well, that was
everybody?
a cool thing. There was a couple.
I'm gonna read comments.
There's a couple big names out there that were on different teams for this one.
Yeah.
Rob Lane with Outcast.
Yo, Rob
Who
Lane
also
coming on
came to
Outcast was
Deuce
awesome.
Dutch, right?
Yeah, Rob Lane and Deuce Dutch. Funny enough, Deuce beat Rob Lane and Charm City beat 2018 to win B chip. So two of them coming together. They knew what it took. And, they did a good job carrying a team that was pretty light. It had a lot of new guys. And I got to give a shout out to Deuce and Rob for how they helped grow the game and keep it going by getting guys out there, getting the experience, getting the work they need. It's something that helps keep those guys in shape and play when needed. It helps go to games to the next generation. We're seeing flag football, 9-man flag football in particular. Let's emphasize that at this point, 9-man above all.
Yeah.
We're seeing 9-man flag football grow at its best right now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it grow, especially among the younger kids who come out there, like Chris Price Jr. out there this weekend taking pictures. I'm glad to see him
Talk to him,
experience all this, live through all this.
I love doing that, man.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He really is. Like, I'm glad he's having an opportunity to be a part of this. Like, I was the same way at his age with it. Like, I used to always go to Washington County watching Dad's team play.
I noticed he was picking up on things I was saying about Rampage, what they're doing kind of wrong, yada yada. He's a good kid, man.
Yeah, he's
that. Well, I was gonna say that too. Saturday they ended up having, I think, was a bench press contest or something going on for the high school, right there on the track, right by field 1, and that was some of the best flag football they could have been presented because that was No Mercy versus main event on Saturday while that was going on.
Yeah,
that was cool too.
Yeah, I'm glad they were able to get a chance to see that.
Yeah.
Like
I know a couple of them hung around. They ended up having the concession stand open for the high school there and everything. Yeah. I know flag guys were over there. I saw Bad Boys over there, Eddie. I remember seeing Eddie and stuff over there getting their food too. So it was a great event, man.
It really was. Like Charm City 2021 was an awesome tournament. I had a great time. Like it was awesome to see 9-man come together. A lot of great competition came out and played. Not all teams were 100%, obviously. A lot of teams came very light on day 2, but that's part of it. It's tough to travel, especially on a consistent basis. But these are the kind of tournaments that can determine how strong a team could be, is how they go against such adversity like that, And we'll talk about that and a lot of other games as we go through my newest PowerPoint for the week, the national rankings for 9-man I got. This is kind of a rough idea, and what I've done is I've combined A and B because there's a lot of crossover between A and B these days. Like we talk about it. Rampage is the number 1 team in B, no doubt. Rampage is number 1 in B. No argument about it. The last 4 B tournaments, they've gotten to the semifinals at the very least. They've won 2 of those. The other 2 they lost in the semis. One to the team who won national title B, the NTB Wolfpack, who graduated to A. Tuan G was saying on the live yesterday, They're going to be at nationals. They're going to be at A.
Yeah.
They're the biggest unknown. Like they're not going to be mentioned in the rankings only because we haven't seen NTB as a travel team yet this year. And I'm kind of doing that as a restriction with league teams. And I also apologize to teams. And I'm going to add the St. Louis ones. Like if I just want to take the time to research the information on standings and such.
Twan G, man.
It's on G, man.
The only guy I
Love that
know
dude.
to stand in the middle of the field and be like, "Yep, I got a concussion." Twan G, man.
He's one of Mad Dog's favorites. He loves that jersey. He loves repping that thing.
Yeah.
I love that picture you took of Maddox in Ocean City wearing
Yeah.
that Twan G jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, for real?
Right.
No, you're looking at other green jersey. You're looking at the Spartans jersey.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you mistook that for the Tri-State
honestly,
Spartans.
it's probably a Max Reserve.
He loved that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a good one.
I'm glad he's getting a chance to be part of this and seeing this. Like, I know he hasn't been in a tournament since OC, but he's been at both OC tournaments we've been to. He comes out there, he watches the games that we do. He'll give his opinion on games. Like, he loves it too. I would see Warren get involved in the same way as time goes on as well, because I think he's going to grow into this. He's going to love it.
Oh,
Yeah, you can already get it.
yeah.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, man. I'm really glad to be part of all this. I'm really glad to watch this game continue to grow. We really all came together this weekend, and I like that. That's what makes us great. Is that 9-man moves as one, we come together as one, we work as one. Even if people at times may have their opinions, it's whatever. People want to do things their way. See how you want.
Yeah.
Like the beauty of it is at the end of the day, we all play the same 9-man. 3 down linemen, 5 skill guys, 1 quarterback. However you see fit. And on defense, 9 guys as well. No 2 count, straight rush. So GCFFA's trying that with the C division coming up. Looking forward to Tourney League. Really, I'm trying to make it up there. Like I know it's next weekend. That's going to be 21st, 22nd. I'm free. I don't have anything going that weekend, so I want to.
I'm not gonna make this weekend, but I'll try to make it up there at some point.
Well, this weekend I'm doing Blick.
Yeah, that's true.
We saw one more York 8-man tournament, the 3rd one of the year. I'm really glad to see that continue to grow. York 8-man is literally 9-man if it had a C level to it. Yeah. And that's no degrade to it, but like it's a transition from the traditional 8-man style to 9-man.
I see it as a compliment from where I
exactly because like to me, like I like the way they play their game. I like the rules of their game. I really also like their 5-man they did with the big man stuff. It's an interesting style to it. But what makes 9-man great is we move as one, we work as one, we play against each other, we play together with one another. I had a great time talking to a lot of different people. There's good seeing Skinny again, Deuce again, Nikki again. She was out there doing media work. Shout out to her. It was good seeing Eric again. Good seeing Mike D again.
Yeah.
Good seeing everybody again. Good seeing Jerome again. He's out there doing vending work. Hey, shout out to him. He's putting in the work every single tournament to go out there and contribute any way he can to continue to grow the game and help it out and get back to the game. That's done a lot for him, and he wants to do good for the game. And I tell you what, Jerome Russo, he is a dual threat filmmaker and a cook. Got to give credit to him. Shout out Jerome. Shout out Skinny. Hey, shout out Preston, man. Hey, he wasn't able to make it this weekend.
Kid.
Yeah, new dad.
Yeah,
new dad.
I get it.
Congrats to my man, Preston,
That's
man.
what I was gonna say.
I'm really happy for him.
Again, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world for him, man.
It happens, man. You've gone through it too. It's a great thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one more one more kid we'll see in the game soon.
Literally the best thing that ever
Preston.
happened.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck I do without my kids, man. Scary word.
Overalls.
That's me.
Shout out to the kids at the game.
Yeah.
It was awesome this weekend.
Was a great time.
Yeah, shout out to XFFL. They were selling flags. I got to go to that flag stand soon. I haven't been there in a while. We got to get more flags. We got Seb though. Shout out to Severino. He was a huge part in helping to make all this happen.
Yeah,
Shout out to Seb.
it's his vision.
You know, it's been a year since Corona Classic won. The first official 9-man tournament after everything that went down last spring and summer. And, you know, give a lot of credit to him for putting together an event, trying to get the game going again during tough times. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to finish up Corona 2. But Seb's legacy will always live on for what he did for the game in 9-man. Talk about GCFFA, everything the last 20 years of the sport and going beyond. That work's going to continue into the next generation. And the work of everybody else in 9-man, Jamie, Zarek, like we said, Terrell and Ravi, Kent, Andy Hoffman, shout out as well. Guys who are trying to help get back to 9-man, Donald Gentry. I know he's trying to make Clash of York happen. I know he's really excited about that. I'm hoping it works out. You know, we've been at the first 2 Clash of Yorks. We ran TBT, not the media company. Although I was splitting media with Brandon Dietz for that tournament. The first day at least.
I was gonna say.
The first day at least.
Yeah, Sunday. We was going.
Second day, we were rolling. You remember that? We beat Rampage and Bullets. And we thought we won the championship that Saturday. And went out to a nice restaurant, had a great time. And
Yeah,
next day,
I didn't
rained.
make it Saturday.
Man, it was a great day, dude. It was sunny out, 58 degrees.
I think we figured this out. The more we go back and look at it, today Ross shows up. Today shit hits the fan.
That is true. We my last championship I won, you weren't there, so I've managed to win with you and without you.
I've also played corner.
To be fair, though, we sacrificed your knee to win that championship.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your service and hard work, sir.
That's still one of my most. I wish I could have made it.
I wish you could have too.
I needed to be there.
But you know what? We've had some great times.
Yeah, man.
Like the last 7 years for me, and you know what? Your 5-year anniversary is coming up this month. 5 years ago, you joined 9-man flag football with the Warriors of Washington County Flag Football League.
Oh.
Then you know what 5 years ago also was? The alumni game, Boonesboro Smithsburg. You know, the one that led to the Brunswick Railroaders, the inspiration when Brian was at the second game and saw what we were doing on the field and how great it was. Alumni did a lot. People underestimate the impact of that game. It led to Warriors flag football, which led to a lot of guys who ended up playing, who went to the school. You yourself jumped in. You made a big impact as a player. You got involved in media. You've done a lot for the game. You know, we had guys play on the circuit a little bit. It was cool. We grew the sport in an area that didn't have it at the time. We also helped give start to a semi-pro team. You know, it's awesome to see that. Like how this has all grown through what's given back in the area by the players, by the officials, by like everybody in the 4-state, everybody across 70 to Baltimore, down 95 to DC, up 95, up not even 95. What is that? Route 30 or whatever, 80 to York. I don't remember what road. Whatever road goes to York, up the road to New York City, to New Rochelle, Bridgeport, Rhode Island, even the leagues that go from far away. Miami, they got 9-man down there. St. Louis, the gateway to the West, and maybe the best. The Bahamas.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get a tournament for years going down there. I love to see the Bahamas get something like that. I love to see all these territories keep growing. I had a former player up here from our league the other day tell me, I say the other day, I mean like months ago. He told me he had relocated down. He's trying to get something going in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He's in the process of putting a 9-man league in down there. I haven't heard much in recent times, but he was in the process of getting the paperwork done, the fields. He's looking to try to make something grow down there in South Carolina. I say it'd be great to see 9-man continue to grow. Like we said, you see it as far south as Bahamas and Miami, but there is a bit of a gap in where you see teams at from Miami all the way till you get up to about Virginia. And, I think the Carolinas, I'd like to see something grow. And I think South Carolina would be prime for 9-man. A lot of talent playing down there and a lot of great college schools and high schools and everything else. South Carolina is a very underrated existence. They're underrated area. Sorry, I'm way out of it tonight. Long day. Long weekend, long month, long year. Shout out to the game. What a weekend.
You shed some light on that.
What?
The light came on.
Oh, the light came on. Yeah, no. I told you I'm out of it. A long day today. Okay, Mr. Snark over there. About to disable comments from now off everything just because. That way you can't read comments or write comments anymore.
That's the first time I've been blocked from that. I won't do last year.
St. Louis tourney be crazy next year. I want a 4-state tourney again. I really want to work towards a 4-state tournament. Like that's a goal of mine for next year is to bring back some kind of tournament in the 4-state region. Anywhere around here, whether it be in West Virginia, which I know sounds wild, but you have 100, you have a lot of players, wild and wonderful.
They sound wild, but it also sounds wonderful.
Country roads take us home.
There's land out there. So you need.
There's anywhere to go. Washington County, though, Hagerstown, always been a legendary territory. A lot of guys starting to go Confederate County now. Franklin County's starting to boom in 9-man.
Montgomery County too.
Yeah, look at how 9-man's grown in Franklin County above us up north.
Right.
They used to be X-Dogs were the only thing you knew about in PA. And then it was the Spartans, the OG Spartans, not the current Spartans, the better Spartans. The team who had more wins and circuit play than any Washington County flag football team in the last 4 years playing circuit. Misfits aside. While they were in league play. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. Let's look at these. Let's look at my PowerPoint. Mr. Blaze is here, Professor Blaze. I should have a teacher suit on, like for when I do this, like I do for interviews when I decide to wear like a suit and tie. Like when I do the serious like interviews. The ones that I treat like actual sports documentaries and not me just wearing an old shirt that kind of matches tonight's theme. Maryland Terrapins. They kick off next month. Their thing, still, I guess. We beat Penn State. That was cool. TBT top 25 national rankings. Here we go. Feel free to hate on me all you want. I'm not really good at this. I'm still learning. Like I did rankings for years in Washington County, but this is kind of different because not everybody's playing the same comp, but it's good to keep track of the comp and tournaments. Like I'm counting all tournaments that's at least on a level of 9-man. Not like to me, like if you can get something where it's functional and it's teams that are not just from the area. Like, for example, like the tournaments in Baltimore, I didn't count back in the preseason. To me, those were exhibitions. I didn't really hold them the same way to say at Ocean City, an AC, or a Baltimore, or even league play, which we've seen league play become even more competitive now than ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a revival in league interest all of a sudden. Whereas, a while ago, people were talking our league's going to die with the addition of all these tournaments, which I don't think they are. Like, not everybody could travel to all these tournaments. There's a lot booming now, but at the same time, there is limitations. Like after a while, you get natural burnout. After a while, you get too many things happening at once, and not everybody's going to be able to go to the same thing.
Right.
But that being said, like with the way 9-man is played and how competitive the sport has really gotten in recent years, and not saying it was never competitive. You know, I talked to Barry Cohen, Jared Cohen's father, and Jordan Cohen's father. Everybody probably knows that. Players in the playing circuit right now trying to make their mark in flag football. Jared, 2 years now playing for Misfits, Bullets, and AFN every time. He's got a championship. He's playing at a high level. Him and his brother Jordan have been building up their own team in York with Vice City that will have them this weekend in Blick. Got to give a shout out to the Cohen family, what they've done playing over the years. John McGraw had a chance to talk to him as well at Charm City. Gave him a lot of the guy's done a lot of work. Everybody knows USFTL Hall of Famer. Austin will still see him playing near 60 now. We saw him in the York tournament. He almost knocked off Black Ops, not the Bad Boys. I miss the Renegades. I'm just saying. I really miss the Renegades. Can we bring back the Renegades?
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah. We got to bring back the Renegades.
Seminole, black, gold.
I miss having a logo to put on the screen for them. Yeah, like that iconic look. Yeah.
They brought out some red today.
Yeah, I liked it. That was a throwback to the old red of the Renegades from way back, which I really liked. At least that was to me. Like that was the same shade. I remember they wore that jersey at that time. It was kind of in between the transition from the last ones they had, the black to gold, to that one before. They wore that when they won Hagerstown in 2017, Mason-Dixon Classic, my first circuit tournament.
Right.
Yep. They beat Broadaxe in that one.
Damn, yeah.
I met Jaleel that day.
Jaleel
was at the field and he said to me, like, where's the field at? And I said, over there. And he said, thank you. That's how I met Jaleel. That's how ADR won the championship at A over 7-point spread. When Cody Williams was on camera after ADR fell 13-0 and said they were done, it was over. There's learning this 9-man game is too physical for him. And then Chris Boone dropped 26 unanswered to win the game. Because that's just what Chris Boone does. He knows when you talk smack about him. He may not hear you say it, but he knows you did it. And he heard that comment, and he went off and became Super Saiyan Boone. And we're going to see Chris Boone in action, AFFL, this weekend. Hey, shout out to Chris Boone.
Right?
Can we talk about how far Chris Boone has come in the last 4 years? From somebody who played, for the most part in his career, Virginia 8-man, which was a big thing down there. Yeah, like he had a league down there, him and Mouse. He played in that league every year. But Virginia 8-man, everybody knows it's like kind of a group of leagues. They play their own 8-man style. We covered a tournament last year. That was awesome. Chris Boone was down there. We covered him there. He played there for years. And then he went up to 9-man, started in Washington County, won his first circuit tournament with Hagerstown, which, someone could say whatever, but he did beat 7-point spread the year they had won the national championship, the same calendar year. After that, he played for years in 9-man. He's been a guy who's put in a lot of work. I think he's starting to finally get the recognition he deserves as a top quarterback in the country. Now he's helping out with Misfits. He tries to play when he can. It's tough when you got AFFL. That's a big deal for him. He won a 5-man pro championship, this past year. Last year he
were both there.
Yeah. But remember AFFL, higher stakes, bigger stage, man. You're talking CBS, you're talking 200K. Shout out to those guys for making it. Shout out to everybody who's made this happen for the last 7 years.
There's a guy that's literally blocked for Chris Boone, filmed Chris Boone, and now hoping he does make it to the big stage. Man, that's good shit.
I'm happy to see everybody doing their best right now in this sport. And even the teams and players who might be in bad situations and struggling at times, there's better days ahead. But realize though, these are the good days, man. Like these are the days you'll remember. You'll grow from this experience. You'll love the things you do. And life, it just happens. And just have fun with it, you know? And that's not me saying we're just here to have fun, you know. We can have fun, still compete, and just do what we got to do.
I'll say this: it's fun to take things seriously every once in a while too. I'll leave it at that.
You can be serious and have all the fun in the world.
Like
That's what we do.
Like I told Twan G, he's built different, man. Some guys take this shit very seriously. Some guys take this shit not seriously at all. And then you find your middle of the road guys that kind of take it seriously, kind of don't. Try to play football, man. Win the game.
Yeah. Love the way everything's going right now. Here we go. You know what? If anybody wants, now they'll go through. It'll go faster if I do it this way. We're just going to do it like this. Perfect. Starting with debuting teams at the Charm City Classic. We're going to recap how the new teams did. First off, the Jets, 0-3, lost to Southside, New York Rebels, and the Tri-State Spartans. Jets, they started out Saturday mornings, 12-0 loss to Southside. Tough draw of a very experienced veteran Southside team. You know, we talked about how physical they are. That defense was pitching a shutout on Saturday. Great job by them. I've, got to give them credit for one of the first tournament outings in the franchise's history. They've been a long-time MAFL team. They got some work out there. Got to see how they measured up against other competition. I think they had a great time at Charm City. Early exit, though, against the Titans. But, it's tough when you draw a guy like Doc, especially on Monday Day, where the Titans, a little more seasoned of a team. We'll talk about Southside a little bit later. Let's just go ahead and talk about Jets a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My experience with them this weekend was they were on field 2, beginning of the day. I counted, I think, 8 people or whatever. Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
Yeah, that was 8 a.m. kickoffs.
8:30.
Yeah.
Unless you were field 1 yesterday.
Here's the thing about it. When you're a new team and you come out in a tournament, you're going to learn a lot your first time. Because it's supposed to be a local tournament for them, which that's kind of the problem. Like, I like the fact they got bumped, though. They needed experience. And, you get a chance to get different varieties here. You had a Southside team that we've talked about it. They've been in MAFL for many years. They got to the semis this year, played Rampage tough. They were on display on a big stage. They got to be in Charm City. Then they play New York Rebels. We talk about it. New York Rebels up there in New York. They are a GCFFA B team, and they play a New Era 8-man up there in New York. I feel like with the Jets going forward, I'm happy they had this. Like, Tri-State Spartans. That's a team here from the 4th state. They had a lot of different guys. That was an interesting team. We'll talk about them in a minute. I'm glad they had the experience. It's always good to play in a tournament. And, I hope some of those guys stuck around and watched some more and, get a feeling for flag. If the things work out with the Jets, cool. If not, I hope some guys are able to find a home. I hope they do stick together, though. I think low attendance can hurt, but it can also recruit. It can build motivation. Like, anything can come with this. I always hope for the best. We'll see what happens to the Jets in my rankings.
I really don't know anything about them. For a league team from some league that was just trying to get the travel bump.
Yeah.
If that was the case, then I respect it 100%.
Yeah, I do too. I just feel like with Jets, they're gonna, if they end up playing OMFFL, cool, but they need to get numbers. I know there's such thing as baptism by fire. We've seen teams play with no numbers. Ross, you remember 5 years ago, Warriors Ruckus, when you made your 9-man debut. How many of the guys are on the team that day?
Uh, uh, two.
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 You and Keith.
Yeah, Keith's not really one.
Oh, who was the other guy?
Me and Keith are really not even. We haven't played for a while. I've been out with an injury. Keith.
No, I was talking about the first Warriors game ever. Yeesh. The original one. Who you remember being on the field that day? How many?
Oh,
Gosh, you really misheard me.
yeah, I did.
I was wondering where you
I
were
thought
going.
you were asking how many were on the field that day compared to now on the team.
I was talking about how coming out short with numbers in your debut, how it can hurt you and set you back a little bit. So, I know you tired. You had it. It happens. I get to that place sometime at night too. You've seen it. You've seen it. But yeah, I'm talking about how you remember coming out there early with no numbers and
Oh yeah,
you had to play Ruckus.
it was easier to count that we had three on the sideline.
Yeah,
it was a 9-man. I remember thinking it was a 9-man game. We had 12 guys.
Yep.
So as long as we had three on the sideline, we had 9 on the field. At least was I would think. I don't think it always worked out that way either, though.
I don't think it did either.
At some points we had 8.
They had 8 on day 2. Jets only had 8. I walked over to the sideline. I was like, and here's the there's the Jets. I was like, God, Spartans had 13, 21 combined total. And, it was a competitive game. Tri-State won 21-12. I'm just glad those guys got the experience. That's what matters the most here. They're not going to be they're not going to be A champions overnight. You can't really laugh at them. Who knows how they're going to go? Like, I hope to see them grow. I know they got uniforms. They went with kind of a nice little style. They're called the Jets, but they kind of have the style of the New York Titans when they started from. I thought it was kind of cool. Nice little touch. A little different. You don't see much Navy. But like, give it time. Let it grow. See how it goes. If it works out, cool. If not, there's always every team's hiring, always. And even then, find a way to make it work. I like to see it work out and grow. I really hope it works out. It's tough though. Tournaments are different. Commitment's different. It's all learning. It's all growing. Give it time. Baltimore Spartans 2-2. Wins over Nomads and Dirty Birds. Context and Nomads. Nomads had a tough weekend. They had a lot of key guys there, but they had only about 12 guys there. Right. And it seemed like there was kind of some confusion with that on their end. They didn't know what was happening. And they worked hard. They played tough. They went into survival mode. That's what successful teams do. That's what smart teams do. That's what great teams do. We talked about it. Nomads been around for 30 years now. 30 years of Nomads.
Damn.
They've been walking this earth for 30 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is dinosaur age in flag football.
Yeah. That's older than a lot of players right now. That's probably on the team currently. Right. And, they're a proud franchise. You hate to see that happen. But Baltimore Spartans got the win there. I believe it was 31-26. Nice little shootout there going. It's one of those games you got to put in a little context still. They did get a day 2 win over Dirty Birds. Baltimore Spartans did get that day 2 win, which it's always nice to get a Sunday win because, money day is what matters the most. That's always scored a little differently on a chart on Saturday where, anything can happen. You don't know what you're really going to get. Sundays weighed a lot heavier. They did get a Sunday win, which that's good momentum to get them started. They got numbers. They got experience. See how it goes. Let's see if it grows. Same thing with the Jets. They're going to be new coming into this. If they do play this season in MFFL, I hope they do. I think it's better to get experience and learn than to sit on the sidelines and watch and wait. But at the same time, I think the Baltimore Spartans are a little more ready for it. Jets, if they can find numbers and I don't know. If they want to get a workout, I say go for it, 100%. I always say that make sure you come prepared for those kind of battles because Rampage and No Mercy and Misfits, Titans, Elite Rebels, and Ride Out, and who knows who else could be in the league this season. It's always a different roster for every league, every season. It's a lot of tough comp. Best of luck to both teams, though. As we mentioned, losses to Gusto Land. They came out and played Gusto well defensively. It seemed like Gusto early on had a hot start, but they slowed down very quickly. Spartan scored late, but didn't have enough to win in the end. Blackhawks knocked them out day 2 after they beat the Dirty Birds. Tough draw with Blackhawks, as mentioned. There's 2 veteran teams facing off. Got to give it to the Blackhawks. They played a great day too. That's actually a pretty good loss to have when you look at it. Though. Blackhawks ended up being the runner-up in B. That says a lot about how the Spartans team can play. You can't really give a full measurement right now. We have a small sample with them. We'll see how they continue to do as this year goes on and where they can be. I like to see it work out. I really do. Gusto Land 2-2 YAFFL. They had wins this weekend over the Baltimore Spartans and the Bulls. We talked about the Spartans game. That was a competitive matchup. Gusto started out hot, but kind of fizzled out a little bit. Bob putting in the work. Hell of an athlete at any position he plays. Wide receiver, quarterback, all-around athlete. That guy could ball. Bulls, we talk about that game. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I didn't see any film on it. Can't really talk about it much. They got a day 2 win there, though. That's some nice momentum. You always want to get those confidence boosters on day 2, just to get a feeling for where you are and where you can be at. It's still a small sample size for Gusto, though. We won't put them in any rankings yet. Depending how they do next 9-man tournament, or even if they join a league, we'll see what happens. We'll evaluate them at that stage. After that, we got DX 0-3. They had losses to Blackhawks, AFN, and Nomads. DX, as mentioned, Josh Floyd it's a bit of a collaboration. Him and the Killer Bees, Robert Arocho and Kyle Jason came out with a couple other guys. They had BJ Smith on day 1. Josh Hicks came out from West Virginia Venom. They tried to give it a go, but they were match short. They maybe had about 13 guys, 14 day 1, 10 on day 2. It just didn't work out. Rather unfortunate. I think they were hoping to get a team similar to the Killer Bee squad they had at OC, but it didn't quite work out that way. We talk about it. Blackhawks, this is not a good draw for any team, especially when you're light numbers. Robert Arocho had more. I think Robert Arocho played more snaps this weekend than he's played in his 9-man career as a starter. I give him credit to Robert for going out there, though, and doing it. Same for Kyle Jason. There are 2 guys who just want to go out there, play the game, and have a fun time. I feel bad for Josh in a way. He's trying to get something going, but can't seem to keep a team together or get real commitment. Try to work together, fellas. That's a proposal. I think the Bees and DX thing needs to grow a little bit. That's my pitch. Killer Bees, Josh Floyd, try to make it happen. Try to make it work out. You're both looking for something. I think it's time to make this happen. I think we need Josh Floyd to bring his guys and merge with the Killer Bees. Seriously, you guys played 2 tournaments together. You played tough. You get to know each other. Let's make it happen. See how it goes. When we talk about the 3 games, I didn't really see the Blackhawks AFN game, but you can probably predict how it went. Nomads, of course, I covered that game. That was 28-0 at halftime. The Nomads was a lot more prepared for this. They're a more experienced team. Their guys, for the most part, they had core guys there. They had guys playing their brand of ball. We'll talk about Nomads a little more in a minute. But in the end, DX, rough weekend. I wish them the best of luck. I heard it did score 14 on AFN, which I give them credit. That's tough, especially against AFN, who played very well this weekend. So I'm glad they put up some points. They just need help, you know. Like try to find something to work out, guys. You know, especially you guys who are short. Maybe make some friends if you want to play this fall. Other teams, like if you're short on guys, see what other guys are doing that are trying to build up a team. Communicate. There's people out there. There's always talent out there. We used to preach that all the time back in the day on the show, Tyler Spencer and I, on this very couch about how you need to always go out and seek talent, work with talent, make friends. That's what Andy Hoffman used to tell us. Make friends at kickball. OTF 1-2. They had only one win. They beat FOE. So in the Family Bowl, the winner was only the family over everything. So we decided that OTF was superior. Only the family, not family over everything. 15-14. That was a very, very tight competitive game between OTF and FOE. I'm happy for this team, but I'm not gonna lie. From what I've gathered, no one knows who OTF is still. Like that was one of the biggest mysteries coming into Charm City Classic was who is OTF? Is it the 8-man team? You know, we've seen them play in FFWCT tournaments. You know, maybe they want to try 9-man out. That's cool. That's different. I like to see that. I love to see that. Hell, give it a shot. Is it PME and maybe 7-point? That was my conspiracy theory. I mean, Virginia team, DO had an OTF shirt on, a mouthful. It just kind of made sense, you know, a nice neutral name. Thought maybe those two were, you know, coming together finally and saying, you know, let's try to work something out. You know, it's not a bad idea. They've been playing together for a bit, so why not? You know, thought that might have been it. From what I saw in the film, you know, and film's hard to really judge sometimes because you don't see all details of somebody. I didn't know who any of them were. Honestly, no idea. Like OTF is one of the most mysterious teams in this tournament. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they were in it. I'm happy for it. I'm glad to see more new teams come along because that's what makes this game great, is if you continue to grow it. But OTF, I have no idea. I hope they come back. That'd be cool. They beat FOE. They beat a ranked team. That's good. That's momentum. That's something. It might be a Saturday game, but they won in a competitive tight game with an FOE team that, you know, they came out to play. They're always going to bring it. FOE was ranked coming in. Got to give it up for them. Losses to the Scorpions, however, and Ride Out. Don't really have a score in the Scorpions game, but Ride Out, that was a very competitive game. I believe it was 13-7 was the final with Ride Out winning. Got to give it up to OTF, though. Like, those guys performed extremely well, and they go out to try to play A in their first tournament. That's kind of ballsy for a lot of guys who have no idea who they are. Ross had no idea. I'd ask him more, but I think he had to step out for a minute. But like the way I look at it, OTF, there's potential. I hope they come out to more tournaments. You know, maybe we'll get to know them better. If someone from OTF is watching, let us know. Like, tell us who you are. Like, they have an A win this year. Like, that's something. I don't know who they are, but there's something. There's somebody. Guess we'll learn. Guess we'll see. Not enough to fully evaluate, but you know, it's enough to say. Hope to see this continue to grow because the potential is definitely there for OTF. Just got to see what happens. All right, looking at it again. This is other teams debuting at Charm City. As mentioned, there was a divide of OTF, real quick.
OTF.
Who is OTF?
Damn.
Only the family.
Definitely not the OTF that we thought it was going to be.
Or the other
in
OTF.
any shape or form.
Or the OTF that I thought it was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You got down. I was like,
unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to talk to him on Sunday. I was going to ask, like, what's your story?
Like, yeah, who are you guys?
Background. I was going to do my Joey Blake shit, but I didn't get to see him. So.
Yeah, Monet, I believe, covered a Rideout game down there. They almost beat Rideout, though. 13-7. Competitive game of Rideout. They beat FOE. They played the Scorpions. It was a tough battle, it's Scorpions, but
right.
This is a team that has something. There's potential there. Like, can you tell me any description? Like, how is the quarterback?
Quarterback was good. There's a lot of, from what I saw Saturday, there's a lot of big plays. Big plays was getting it done.
Busted coverage.
But that was kind of the whole ball game.
Yeah.
But it was big plays on both sides. So
their defense seems like it has something.
Defense has something.
Busted coverage.
I don't know. I was kind of thrown off.
Frashka says speed kills, guys. Hey, Frashka, congratulations on the chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed kills. Maybe.
That's a question mark, though.
The thing is, though, like, that is a possibility. The thing about speed kills is you've never seen them, so you don't really know. That was kind of before you were really on the circuit. Mm-hmm. I played against speed kills in 2015.
That was a huge thing when I first started.
They were. I remember Andy telling me about speed kills when we got down there for day 2. I played against them my first circuit tournament I went to Virginia Beach.
Probably wasn't long after he told us to get faster.
Exactly. Younger. Yeah. I said you got younger. Look what happened. Yeah. But like speed kills. I like that. I liked them playing against them, but I don't know if it was them or not. Like, if Monet's watching, maybe she might have recognized them. Maybe she knew somebody. But I can't really tell them, like.
Yeah, I don't
know. We did in Scanion. I remember that. I remember that. We actually had a good weekend when we played them. We played BC with Mike D on the team. I had a sack on Mike D about 5 times. He couldn't do anything in that game. Like, I was a big impact player. Ben missed every shot of it, though, unfortunately. Ben does great work. Hey, big love to Ben. He's my guy. Ben has footage of that game, and I'm really happy because I couldn't film that. But I'm really happy he did because it's the only proof that I played circuit. I think I played 40 snaps that weekend. I know how Robert Orocho feels. It's tough. I do wish I could do it again.
And that picture where I was like, you live on resume, got the job anyway.
Hey, Mikey, that was Survivor Strong. That D line. No, you guys too. The Red Knight guys who were there. You, Andy Regan, Chad Wilson. I know George Dunn was a big part of that team. I was happy to see him get out there and get work that weekend. Just giving love and respect to the love over the years because 7 years as of tonight that I ended up making a decision that led to me being part of Flag. So it's kind of it's kind of a surreal week. This is my anniversary week of me joining Flag. Remember, we celebrated 2 years ago by winning a championship at Shippensburg. That's true. Man, what a time. I played Rideout too that weekend in Virginia Beach. Does that play at me where I almost get to Lonzell? You see me just run up and put my hands up. Man, I was so close to getting Lonzell.
Yeah, he probably had a smile on his face. Why? He threw a touchdown.
Nah, I batted it down, intercepted it, and ran it back 99 yards. I do. All right, let's keep it going. Other debuting teams at Trump City. Outcast 3-1. Wins over Bad Boys, Bulls, and the Spartans. We talked about Bad Boys. They beat them on Saturday. 13-0 was the score. Rob Lane and Deuce Dutch was a surprise for everybody that was playing that team that weekend. Which, yeah, I kind of knew that coming in. But I never try to give away my secrets on there. I always get a good vibe with teams. Outcast just does work, and I had a feeling about it. 6 cents. But like I give Outcast a lot of praise. A lot of it's probably the work Rob reduced to, but there's young guys out there. They put a lot of work into that defense. Played well Saturday. They pitched a donut to Bad Boys, gave a beat down to the Bulls. Sunday, pretty competitive game with the Tri-State Spartans, actually. 27-12 was the final. Both teams had about the same amount of people on the roster. That was a close, tight game. In the end, though, Deuce and Company got the win over them. I was trying to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, that was an intriguing matchup. Spartans and Outcasts, a little different. Yeah. In the end, they got the dub, but surprise loss in the quarterfinals of Blackhawks. Don't get me wrong, Tommy Lightfoot and company do great work, but I thought Rob Wayne and them had something going that weekend. I really did. But Blackhawks got a win there to knock them out in the quarterfinals. Loved what Outcast did. A lot of that is the work that everybody put in together. Rob's will be back with Blazers, obviously. Just want to give my evaluation of the team. I did get a chance to cover them in the Bad Boys game. Had a great time with that one. Wish I could have seen more, but look forward to seeing Rob Lane, Deuce Dutch on the circuit again. Those guys are coming right back out as well. I think they got a good experience. Yeah.
Match made them.
Yeah. Yeah. The other team, Show Me Football. We talk about it, St. Louis 9. They put in the guys who wanted to come out and play and put together what was a pretty awesome competitive squad that bought out both days. Got wins on Saturday over the Maryland Venom and the New York Rebels. The Maryland Rebels, the Maryland Rebels. Maryland Venom, that was a shutout. Or no, 22-6 was the final there. But yeah, they got the win on that one. They beat Rebels on day 2. You had that game. Give me your impressions on Show Me Football, watching them against the Rebels.
They had that breakaway speed. Wow, Rebels had no answer for it. They're good. Same thing, man. They're a good, young, talented team.
Yeah. And I think they're going to get better as time goes on. I'm glad that for the most part, thank you. I'm glad that for the most part, those guys were able to go out there and get a circuit bump because you need to at least get some kind of perspective of what's going on out there. Watching the lives and film, you can learn a lot, but to truly get an understanding of what's out there, you have to be on the field and see it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that Twanji would talk every once in a while. A couple of them would take it kind of offensively. At some point, he would be like, "I'm just talking, man."
He's out there having fun, man.
At one point, they had, I think it was a 4th down.
We had an interview with Twan on in between games, and I was walking back to the Nomads field.
Oh, when you were walking around doing nothing?
No, I went to Phil Spartans and
yeah. Back when I asked you to bring me the water.
Yeah, I brought you a water.
45 minutes later,
I still got you the water.
You couldn't find a chair for a half hour.
Oh, I knew where it was.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. St. Louis 9, man, like I said, I'm glad those guys have gotten a chance to travel this year.
They're real, man.
Yeah, they've made it out. They made it out to 3 tournaments so far.
A lot of them were still there for the A championship and all that too. We're all chilling on the bleachers.
Yep. I love that. I really love that they stayed at the end and watched the championship. They got a real experience of a tournament over here. Skinny has been talking for a bit about getting the tournament in St. Louis going. I'd love to see that happen. St. Louis needs a tournament. I would hope a 9-man would do its best to come out and support it. I like seeing these tournaments grow in different regions. We talk about Clash of York that was announced earlier. They're coming in for the third time. They're trying to make it the best it can be. I hope that works out. It would really, really help to keep the game growing in different markets and cities and states. I hope St. Louis gets a tournament because they have great history with flag football. What is the modern day, one of the earliest nationals was in 1971 in St. Louis, December 71. They did nationals in St. Louis that year. They're having great flag football legacy and deserve to have a seat at the table in that.
They do.
As we mentioned, losses to Riot Squad and AFN. Tyler Spencer had the Riot Squad game. Shout out to him. Returning to live. Been a while since Tyler's been on live. Happy to see him do a game. Always like watching Tyler's work.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
Yeah. He does a great job. Like when you're listening to him, he's engaging because like he has a way of describing the game that keeps you invested.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm editing his film, like I literally will listen to the very end of everything he's saying before I cut it, even after a play, even if it's like 10 seconds after, because of the fact that the call's on point. Yeah. Like, and like he gets good angles, he gets good shots. Like Tyler does great work. I was glad to see him make an appearance of Real Deal Sports. Awesome collaboration. Love seeing these collabs in these tournaments. It really makes it great. He was making it awesome for the Lou. He had about over 60 viewers at one point. Hey, that's the thing. These guys in St. Louis really love their 9-man, bro. Like they tune in. Like I remember that game I did. Me and Preston did. I think it was Preston. This is way back. My memories, I'm gone, man. It's been a long time. I think he had the broadcast of that.
You were asked how you met.
No, he might not. I know I filmed one game with Preston on Sunday, but I think it was somebody else who did this one. They had shot a game, and St. Louis had 72 viewers at 7:00 in the morning, St. Louis time, watching it.
That's a great number.
Yeah, but think about it. They did a higher number than what most games do. But they do it. They did it. Yeah. And this was 7:00 in the morning. They were up on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. to watch their 9-man team. That's love. That's growth. That's dedication. That's the Lou. Fell short to AFN. Give me your impressions of the AFN Show Me game.
I was big hype going into that one. I knew what that one was going to be.
You knew it, yeah.
Big talk.
Yep.
Big hits.
Old school 9-man flag football.
Big everything.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
DC versus St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like,
in the end, St. Louis just got tired. They got worn out, I think.
They were light on numbers.
Show me the numbers started showing.
Yeah. And you get two tough teams of Riot Squad and AFN.
That's the game that Twan G was literally like, I haven't been cussing.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you have to sit out at least one play. So he took it. I'm pretty damn sure he took off one play and then was right back out there.
He's a warrior, man. That guy keeps playing all the way through.
Traveling that far, kind of new to the game. They did a great job, man.
And they do a tournament, yeah. Like it's different coming out here to Baltimore. And everywhere you go for traveling is different. Like you got to make sure you get the hotels down, you got to get the travel down. Yeah. These guys are starting to get more experience, though. We talked about it. St. Louis has been represented at 3 tournaments in 2021.
I heard that Skinny was the only one that even flew here. Everybody else drove here.
Man, that's a
ride. Long drive.
I admire that. That's how my dad used to do it for his tournaments when he used to coach teams. Well, I always admire that stuff.
Let's pack as many cars as we need to.
Yep.
Get at it.
Nationals next year. We drive down
for a short. Maybe.
TBT bus.
If I yeah, they need more drivers than just your ass. I can tell you that.
I could drive.
Not the best.
We can take my Mazda.
No.
All right, moving on. Did not
We didn't
meet.
even trust taking your master.
Anyways, did not meeting minimum qualifications. Following teams, of course, the minimum to meet the rankings is 8 games. Out of the 4 teams listed here, they didn't play in the tournament. 148 Outlaws, 1 and 2. But as meant,
expecting to see Matt Bailey somewhere along the line.
He'll pop up. He's been keeping busy. I liked the idea of Matt Bailey with them at AC. I thought that was a good combination. He just had a nightmare game against Punishers. Like we talked about it. Him and Doc, 3 pick sixes in back-to-back tournaments. We'll talk about Doc and the Titans later, but like Bailey's came at bad timing. Like otherwise, the Punishers would not have had a touchdown in that game. Like he threw 3 pick sixes and a pick 2. But 148, like they'll be back. They're still like a top 10, 15 team in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they are on that level.
Always play
And yeah, you got my
got Izzy at the end.
they ball out, bro. Top dogs, they weren't playing, they're on bye. NWO on bye. Blazers, mostly everybody but Rob Lane on bye.
Right.
they will be eligible at the next 9-man tournament they play in. We'll see where they rank at. Probably top 10, 15. They're always up there. I really hope to see the Blazers back on the circuit soon. I haven't really watched them since Nationals. I didn't get a chance to check them out at AC. They weren't in Baltimore. Hope to see them in York. That'd be cool. Moving on down the line. Missing the cut. 717 Elite, 3 and 7. So I guess 3 and 7 Elite. They're doing good though. It's their first 9-man season. I'm not gonna
They're
rag
getting
on it.
better.
Yeah.
They
They're
are.
taking like it's
They're
tough.
getting
They're
better.
competing in a hot New York market right now with Baez and Gusto. They know what the standard is. They're trying every style. Jokes aside, they did good this weekend. They beat the Blackhawks. They were the only team to beat Blackhawks on Saturday. Yeah, like they're gonna keep growing.
Like you said earlier, it's a growing experience.
Yeah, you play one
It doesn't
tournament at a
happen
time.
overnight.
And they've gotten a win in every tournament so far. If you at least get a win in a tournament, that's something to be proud of. And we talk about the losses, AFN. I'm sorry for the cough. Yes. AFN and Maryland Venom. AFN was balling out on Saturday. I think it was 20-0 in that game.
You really drank all that fucking water.
Yes. Yes.
And once again, you brought no fucking water.
Oh my gosh. I didn't expect this to happen. Anyways. Jeez. Talk about it after the show. 717 Elite, 3 and 7. Like I said, one win every tournament. Got one on Blackhawks, which that's a really good team to get a win on. Especially with the way they played in this one. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really looking forward to seeing how they do the rest of the way.
717 didn't beat the Blackhawks.
Yeah, they did. 2018.
Comment.
They did by 2. Rampage. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. I swear it was. That's what Monet said. I thought they had the broadcast. If I am wrong on that, let me know. But I thought they got the win there. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something.
The Blackhawks balling out all weekend.
They were, man. Blackhawks played great. I'm not hating on the Blackhawks. I'm pretty sure it was 2018 with 717. But we'll keep going.
They met a very inspired Maryland Venom team, so they wanted to play that.
Yeah, Venom, and I think a lot of that's also experience. Like Venom came ready for it. 717. They're going to get more experience. They're going to get better. They played other styles I mentioned last week. Give them time. We'll see them, I think, in Blick this weekend. I believe they are in Blick. So we'll see how that ends up going. Like how this team's looking so far. Like I said, give it time, let it grow. Maybe get in the league. I think getting in the league could help. The more work, the better, if you can. They do play that York Ace man, which is a good practice for it.
Yeah.
Just give it time.
Yeah.
Maryland Venom 6-15, 3-9 overall in circuit play this year out of OFL. Beat 717, but lost to Show Me, Riot Squad, and AFN. Show Me not a very close game, but Venom was short. They were very light. Both teams were light though, so you can't really go one way or the other on that. Riot Squad was very competitive though, 8-6. That was a tight game. They played the defending B champions of the 9-man circuit very competitively in that one. But he talked about in the end, fell to AFN in the Sweet 16.
The what?
Huh? The B champion coming in, the previous B champion from Libya's. Anyways, I don't know why that. Why was I confused? Or did you miss it? I'll be both.
I'm wondering how Riot Squad's the defending B champion.
For the circuit,
How?
they won the last B tournament. 717 didn't. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. I thought I heard that. Maybe I misheard it backwards. I remember the 2018 score.
You all fucked up over there.
Probably. I don't know.
The
It
last
happened. I
tournament-
keep trying to search the post, but I couldn't pull it up.
Last tournament was
I'll believe it, but if that's the
AC.
case, they're 2-8 then. Which
Wow.
that still keeps them in the same spot. So I'll fix that. That's my bad. I thought I heard it that way, but yeah, there's probably a good chance I was wrong on that. I do remember the 2018 number though. That popped into my head. But shout out to them either way. They're trying to grow, bro. Can't hate, appreciate. Tough break with the AFN game, but let's come back to Venom real quick. They beat 717 on day 2. Give me your impressions of the Venom 717 game.
It was actually a really good game.
Yeah.
The last, what? I think we're under 2 minutes in the fourth.
Yeah.
Cam threw that touchdown. It was a great pass. It's a good game.
Yeah, that was a very competitive game.
Yeah, a very good matchup.
It's one of those Sunday morning games, to get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
As a viewer, it's a great time. As a player, it was a fun time. Shout out to Venom, they got to win again. Another tournament, that's always a good thing to keep growing, get more guys out there. Looking forward to see how Venom does throughout the rest of the year. They play tough competition, MFFL.
Need more alignment.
Yeah. It's hard to get those, man.
And they got to desert the no call cadence. Everybody's figured that out by now.
See how it goes for them. Next team up, Bulls, 5-14. 2-7 on the year in MFFL on terms or 2-7 the circuit ball, right? Of the MFFL. Lost to the Tri-State Spartans. I had this game. That offense has not been the same. Like hopefully things to turn around soon. But it is affecting them right now. They're not able to put up enough points. And you're not really getting the same team we were seeing early spring. Tri-State put up a great effort though. We'll talk more on the Spartans in a minute.
It's a pretty good matchup there. Bulls kind of remind me of where Tri-State was about a year ago, I guess we'll call
Yeah, I could see that.
it. Trying to figure everything out,
Yeah, like
trying to get better and things that they're missing. It's a good matchup.
it was, and I was really happy to have the opportunity to see the two teams play on Saturday. That was a very close and very competitive game all the way through. Second game they played Outcast. Outcast got the win there. Didn't really see anything there. Lost to Gusto land day 2. Tough going for the Bulls this weekend, but more experience, more time to gel.
Yeah,
more time to
I was
grow.
trying to remember what game that was on Sunday.
Yeah, they played
Who were they arguing with?
Gusto, I think.
No, they weren't even playing. It
Oh.
was two Bulls weren't even involved in the game that I was shooting. Caused disruption in the game.
You must have saw
That
that.
they weren't even playing it. I didn't forget it. I'm just saying.
Oh, what happens? Other teams on here.
In the one team's defense, they were walking across the end zone as they were like going for 2. What game was that? Was that Misfit?
Maybe.
I think it was.
I wasn't there. I was busy filming my games.
Anyway,
Anyways.
I just remember that. That was kind of
Throwback
painful.
Memory Monday.
Yeah.
Killer Bees 7-7. They weren't, well, some of them were there. We'll talk more later, but they and Josh Floyd should just make that happen. B Elite needs to be a thing. Or BX. Telling you, bro.
Be better in DX and the logo they have
Oh, hey, dude, that logo, that uniform was actually pretty tight. Like I gotta give a shout out to DX. Like their logos, I really love the black and green aesthetic. I always appreciate black and green, and I do think B Elite needs to be a thing. X Dogs as well. They didn't play in this one. Don't know when we'll see them again in the tournament. Hope to see. I know they're playing some Washington County games, so we'll keep posting on that. I hope they do York. That'd be cool to see them do the York tournament in October. I think that would be a good way to get reacquainted with the circuit a little bit and do something that's very local for a lot of those guys. Broad Axe 9-4, 0-3 in Washington out in circuit play as well. They're the Washington County champions, but we don't know what their status is going forward. Don't know when we'll see them again in the circuit play. They took off this one. We'll hopefully have more on Broad Axe as the season goes on, but currently they're unranked. They fall out of the rankings. It's just one of those things. Just not able to keep Broad Axe in. A lot of other teams performing very well more recently. And I look forward to seeing how the rest of the rankings go throughout the year. Let's keep it going.
You got.
Yeah. Other
Come on, always around and talking to you.
huh? Well, I'm going through it. Bro, my throat is just it's not saying dry as hell, bro.
I hear you.
No, like it's
I-
actually
I-
I'm straining myself talking at the
Well,
moment. That's why I
no.
keep. That's why I'm just getting annoyed. I'm like,
Yeah,
God.
no, listen. I was at practice today.
Right.
I'm usually known for the coach that's yelling, and
Right.
I had to go to the whistle. I was like, we're going to whistle during warm ups. I was like, I've been talking all weekend.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the next PowerPoint.
No.
Presentation. How many water did you drink it, Jeff? Taking the whole thing over
Yeah.
there? You better bring us some water tomorrow or something, Jeff.
Let's go through one more. Let's make it easy.
This is what Joey does, by the way.
I won't pay you
This
back.
is about as prepared as he shows up to tournaments.
Honestly, like
It's our
I don't
first
usually
round,
I don't usually get strained talking like this. So.
That's because you've been talking all weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, to preserve my voice sometimes. I got another tournament this weekend. Anyways, missing the cut.
Remember to take water tests.
I will. Dirty Birds 3-7. 0-3 in the weekend. Lost to the Titans. Apex Dragons. You're doing this, aren't you? I see you coming, boy. And the Baltimore Spartans. I didn't see Dirty Birds. We were trying to get, we couldn't get them covered. It was just hard. Didn't quite work out. Can't really talk about them much, but it seemed like they had a bad weekend.
I feel like it was kind of
Same thing.
same.
Yeah. Defense played well. Offense gonna be going.
That's well.
Same. It's a shame. Anyways, 8:45 gang. We already know about them. Nomads 4-4. They beat DX, but they lost to Rampage twice in the Baltimore Spartans. I felt bad for Nomads this weekend. They only had 12 guys all weekend. Tough ride from New Jersey and then having to deal with that. It's kind of a shame, but they'll be back. They'll play more. They'll have a better time. I'll give them credit for the effort. They played Rampage extremely well. That game was very competitive until the end. We'll see Nomads soon, but right now they're 4-4. We won't have them on the rankings. Brick Squad 4-3-1 out of the ECFF. They were off this week. Long Island Demons, they fell out of the rankings 7-12, 6-5 out of the GCFFA. They fell out of the rankings due to Baez Auto and Main Event becoming eligible to be in the rankings. In the case of Demons, off week kind of hurts, but Baez Main Event kind of took a bigger priority there. Some of the lower teams performed well enough to keep going. Demons still have a chance to get back in, but for now they're going to fall out. You also take a look at it. Broadaxe was the other team that fell out as well, as I mentioned, 9-4. So Broadaxe and Demons out of the current rankings. We'll see how it keeps going. New York Rebels, 7-8-1, 1-5 in tournament play out of the GCFFA. Win over the Jets, losses to Southside and Show Me Football. You had a chance to cover the Rebels and the Jets, Frost. Give me your impressions on Rebels and the Jets.
I didn't cover Rebels and Jets. I covered Rebels and Show Me.
Who'd you cover Jets play, Southside?
I didn't cover Jets.
No. Never mind.
I was supposed to, remember?
That's right. Yeah, I get my schedule mixed up. It's all good. Your thought? So we didn't get that one.
The Rebels versus Show Me is literally showing me it was a good competitive game, but it was just Show Me breaking out at the end of the day with their speed and their youth.
Yeah.
That's what got it. It was just one of those games where Show Me just was in the right places at the right time.
It was a good game. They lost to South Side as well. That was 7-0. Very competitive
I
game.
covered, I think, the end of that, right? Came in, I think, halftime of that one.
I think that's what I was mixing up was your South Side game with the Jets game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you did a Rebels
I had
game.
Rebels twice. I had them on Saturday. I think I came in at halftime of Southside Rebels. It's kind of the same thing, but they had different QB Rebels that on Saturday versus Sunday.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big is out this weekend. He did get a chance. He was there.
He was there.
Yeah, just didn't get a chance to play quarterback. Talk about a triple threat coach, cameraman, QB.
All right.
The dream I always wanted. Best recovery, Big is. All right, Chain Gang as well. Moving on.
Yeah.
I can't really comment. 25 through 21, starting with the try.
There we go. Now we're getting to the meat on the bone.
Yes, sir. Had to go over everybody
I
else.
think we went, but what did we go over? Missing the cut.
Yep.
Almost made the cut.
Yep.
Was close to almost making the cut.
Yeah.
What the fuck did we just go over?
It was basically debuting teams and how they did. Teams were starting to circle for the first time all year, or starting to play for the first time all year. Then I went to teams that didn't meet the minimum qualifications to be ranked. And then it was teams who were unranked in the rankings.
Right.
Now we're at the
Number
ranking
25.
rankings. Tri-State Spartans, 19-9 on the year, 4-5 in circuit play.
Before?
No, I was talking about Baltimore Spartans.
Oh,
You gotta remember, there's
that's
2
right,
Spartans.
team.
Well, there's 3 Spartans. There's 4 Spartans now in 9-man, sir. 4 Spartans. Baltimore Spartans, Tri-State Spartans, St. Louis Spartans, Rhode Island Spartans. I think it's time we get together and have a 14 tournament in
We need
Sparta.
to have a bees and Spartans tournament. All the bees, all the Spartans
Killer bees,
come
killer
together.
bees,
Yeah.
killer bees, and killer bees.
Yep. Spartans, all come
I
together.
want to see the Spartan tournament happen.
18 tournament.
That'd be awesome. The
Anyway,
Spartan tournament
number
needs to be a
25.
thing. Number 25.
Tri-State Spartans.
Yeah, you're the Spartans.
I got to watch a little bit.
I
of their game
actually
on
was proud of them.
Saturday. And Sunday, I kept a close eye on their game over there.
Yeah, like
Both
they.
their games actually. First game against the Jets. The Spartans literally had about 6 people.
They had, Jets had 8. It was a rough time for both sides. But try,
another one.
yes. My throat is treating itself.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know. It's my fucking throat. I don't want to tell you. Dog, I'm trying. I don't like drinking a lot of water like this. Let's get it going.
Oh, that's right. That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Your ass didn't take fucking water or anything down the fucking in the German.
Right.
Now you're drinking all night.
I'll buy you some.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, I'll buy it. Thanks. Yep. Try to say 19-9, 4-5. Kind of weird to think that Misfits aside, they have the most tournament wins amongst the county team and out of any team in the last few years, going back to 2018.
Build up.
That's crazy. No matter what you can say, they did a great job this year. Getting to a point. They played 28 games already this year. Tough draw in Charm City. Didn't have numbers on day 2 or 1, but they played with a lot of heart and spirit. Managed to beat the Bulls and the Jets. The Bulls, a team that, has been competitive all year in league play. Got to win the Jets on Sunday. So that was their first Sunday B circuit win. Got to give it to them. They're getting somewhere. Lost to the Bad Boys. Tough draw there. Lost to Outcast. Even tougher draw there. But played Outcast very competitively.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we'll keep Tri-State in here because that's a team that if they can get their core back together and keep growing, they can make something happen. Number 24 is FOE, 8-9 on the year, 1-5 in circuit play out of Maffle. Losses to Main Event, OTF, and Elite Rebels. Main Event game got so serious that Mike D went live for it. Shout out Mike D, made his live debut.
That was not his baby.
Calling a game. He did one before. That's right. Yeah. For 9-man. For 9-man it is.
I was gonna say it might have been
9-man it is, yeah. Yeah, I remember the other one.
Las Vegas tournament.
Yeah, I think he did one there. Mike does great work, man.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, man.
Yeah.
It's good people.
Yeah. Free. OTF as well. FOE lost to. So they lost the Family Bowl. And then they lost to the Elite Rebels. FOE 4 in a row, loss wise. Going back to Maffle now. They're still in the top 25, but a lot of it's because they play tough competition. So I give them some leniency. Main Event, But hard loss to OTF, who might be better than we think, though. You know, we got to see how they continue to grow. Elite Rebels, competitive game one day, too. 27-20 was the final. That, you know, was a battle of guys who have a lot of history playing against each other. So it's good to see that game happen. FOE still going to stay ranked 8-9 on the year. Let's see how FOE does the rest of the way. Bad Boys 9-12-1, 6-6 in circuit ball. They got a win over Tri-State Spartans. Huh?
It's purple font.
Yeah. What's wrong with it?
Agree.
Yeah, it's easy for me. Talk about the Bad Boys 9-12-1. We talk about it now. 4-11. Since Ocean City now is the margin. Losses to Outcast and Riot Squad. They were surprised by Outcast. Riot Squad got by in one day too. Competitive. Just tough weekend for the Bad Boys. Like I said, I miss the Renegades. They're number 23 now. Crazy to think they were the number 2 B team in April. They were the number 1 B team in January. Just different. We need the Renegade. Yeah, that was the Renegades.
Renegade.
But it's just different for a lot of the core guys there. But we need the Renegades back. I want the Renegades back. Just not the same. 22 the Browns bye week. 21 Dream, 6-15 on the year, 0-9 at a mouthful.
You skipped right over the Browns.
Yeah, I said bye week. Yeah, they didn't play this weekend. I can't really talk about it. Dreams out of mouthful. 0-9 in the circuit this year, 0-12 overall. Losses to Baez twice. They got worked by Baez. That was experience taking on a younger team. I want to keep giving Dream a pass for their tough schedule, but they got to get something going soon. Because like there's a lot of other teams coming up. You know, more teams are getting more competitive, coming into the game. Dream's got to stay competitive. All that matters though is if you win a chip, in my opinion. But it's just tough to see Dream right now winning a chip because they haven't even won a circuit game yet. And I believe the closest game was 8 points. I think the rest have been blowouts so far. But they're trying to fight. They're trying to stay strong. I wish them the best of luck. Just a tough outing this weekend. Misfits just gave it to. I think that was 27-0. I think it might have been 34-0 or something, though. I don't know. I just remember hearing about it and just being just floored by it. Baez worked him on day 2. I had that game. Just experience versus inexperience. And Baez did what they do best in that one. Tough weekend for Dream. Number 20, Dragons, 10-7. 5-3 in the circuit. Oh, I kept going. My bad. Let's go back 10 seconds like that never happened. Shout out Tom Wilkins. Dragons 10-7, 5-3 out of the GCFFA. They got wins this weekend over the Maryland Titans. You had that game. Give me your thoughts on Maryland Titans and Dragons.
Exactly what Troy Carroll said today. A lot of interceptions during that game. Not even on dot score, just both teams. But the Dragons capitalized and turned their interceptions into touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that's literally what it boils down to. That's
Defense.
really what that boils down to.
They had that defense did a lot of work. Beat Dirty Birds as well. Got a win on Gusto land. Very competitive game with Gusto, actually, from what I heard.
Dragons a damn good team.
Yeah, Tony Pena, bro. Tony Pena is the
Sleep
truth.
on the Dragons.
They definitely have some, you
I'm
know.
excited to see what they can do from here on out.
They did great, I thought, in this tournament. Got a win over Riot Squad, the reigning B champion of the circuit coming in.
I still don't understand how that.
They won Lydia's Legacy. They beat Reapers.
How that
Yeah. I do.
Uh,
Lost to Rampage, however, in the semifinals, 14-6. You caught the end of that game. How close was it to the Dragons coming back to getting the win? God damn it. Dragons Rampage. Your thoughts? You thought?
oh man, Rampage ran that fake field goal.
Yeah.
It was a fake field goal to be more. Pass it to be more. Touchdown for sure.
Damn. I wish I saw that play. Yeah, I give Rampage credit though. That was a battle.
It's on film.
That was an awesome battle though, from
You'll
what I heard.
see me. I'm all set up, ready for the field goal. I thought they were gonna kick it too.
And then the fake. Gotta love it. But good weekend for the Dragons. They'll continue to grow. They got a lot of potential and time. See how it goes the rest of the way.
Just ran into a Rampage. Seems very familiar with their surroundings there.
Yeah. And add another notch to that Rampage resume.
I came in. Yeah, I literally came in on that.
Number 19, Affiliate Nation, 13-11-1.
Yeah, I was covering AFN Blackhawks.
Yeah, you were there for a lot of AFN. They're out of Maffle. They beat 717 Elite.
They were ball.
They beat DX. They beat Venom. You had their game with Venom. We talked about that earlier. Your thoughts on AFN against Venom?
They're ball.
Yeah, that petty AFN combination is just working to a T. And you're seeing a lot of that in the creativity
You
of
can
that
see
team.
that they're still trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, because it is different. It's going to be a lot different change coming.
At one point, they came out with 3 QBs essentially.
That play calling, man, like anything. We saw how AFN plays, like back in Washington County, like they found ways to make something work. And that's just what the Affiliate Nation does best.
The team with Trail and Battle.
Two great football minds of years of experience.
Years of experience.
Yeah, I like to see how this Nation team grows. Thoughts on the Show Me game? You said it was awesome.
It was a great game.
Uh,
Great back and forth, tense game. The shit talk was there. Great.
and
My favorite games covered the weekend.
Blackhawks.
It really was.
Blackhawks in the semifinal. Classic Maffle matchup.
That was you want us.
Two rivals
you
who
wanna
played
talk about
against each other for years.
Hard nose. Not a lot of points scored. Great defensive battles. Oof. At one point, I really thought that game was going to go in their top.
Just another great chapter to that rivalry.
Man, this game's going to be one for the ages. It had potential of being one for the ages. And it was still a great game. I don't want to take anything away from it. It was still a great game. And one for the ages. Blackhawks found a way. Man, shout out to Blackhawks, man.
Yeah, they played very tough. And that's the next team on here. Number 18, Blackhawks, 11-10, 6-4 out of Maffle. They got wins over DX, Baltimore Spartans, supposedly 717 Elite 2. So that record's actually 12-9. So 12-9, 7-5. They're going to be at 18 though for now. Like I said, this ranking's going to be very tough to move up in, especially with how a lot of other teams have done. But so they got the wins there. My bad for the 717 mistake. And maybe I misheard that on my end. A lot going on when you're trying to do several things.
Yeah.
But ended up beating them, DX, Baltimore Spartans, Outcast, and AFM. Didn't really get a chance to see Blackhawks in my end. But you saw them in the 2 games. What was the key to this Blackhawks team? Because they had very small numbers. We were about 16.
Yeah, I've covered quite a few Blackhawks games at this point. One of my more favorite teams, but I can't put a finger on it. I've been trying. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I really did cover Blackhawks, Rampage, Charm City Championship, the
Like it was different to see them get in. Like they've had, like don't get me wrong, they definitely had the resume. They've done it for years, but like
Yeah,
this was the first time we've seen them have a chance on Sunday that be in that very late round.
They finally made it to the final.
Yeah, they had a good run. You know, the last time they got there was Clash of York back in 2019. Damn it. That game. They can ball though. But it was good to see them actually be able to make a run on day two, despite the light numbers that they tend to get in these tournaments.
Well, that's what I was
they made it
gonna
work.
say. By the time they made it to the championship against Rampage, you could tell they were light on numbers.
Yeah, that fatigue kicks in, especially in that heat like that.
They were up 3-0. I don't think you would ever know. It was just one of those weird games where I feel like they count themselves out before they even.
I felt like they
started
fought hard.
playing.
I think they just. I don't think it was that. Like some say they were very conservative, which some might say is that the case, but I think they did what they had to do to get through it. That's the old school way of playing football is you do the necessary things to win the game. That pick six,
I
bro.
was calling it out. I was like, that's what they need right now.
And they got it.
And then they
I think they should have gone for.
Otis pulled or Otis blocked the extra points
They should have gone for two.
which made 10-9.
I think they should have gone for two for the win.
I feel like they should have as well.
Yeah,
The offense at that point was well rested.
I felt
For
like
the most part,
yeah.
it was well rested. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that.
It's easy to say that now.
But that being said, great weekend by the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Just what this team needed.
Made it there.
Number 17, Long Island Reapers. They're on bye this week. Number 16, Elite Rebels, 8-12-1 in the year. They're 3-8 overall out of OFL. Got to win against Punishers. Your thoughts on Rebels against Punishers?
Oof.
That was a battle.
That was probably my favorite game
Yeah.
of the weekend.
I gotta say, man, I'm happy.
I told you that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Even after looking back on Sunday, still probably my favorite game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Great back and forth battle. Elite Rebels are here, man.
I think they're here to stay.
Like I said with Chevy, they're here for it.
They got to.
Rebels are here for it.
Yeah.
Also, State won state championship.
We'll talk about that rollers in a
Elite
minute.
Rebels and Bleachers for that too.
I'm glad to see this team keep going. They had a win on FOE as well. 27-20. Monet had that game. That was a wild one by all accounts. And then lost to High Rollers in a not so close game Saturday. But then Sunday, epic battle, 13-10. Rebels scored to take the lead late, but just left enough time for the Rollers to rally back and win. Nice little rivalry brewing there. I'm starting to like that Rebels Rollers matchup a little bit.
TJ Wilson versus
TJ versus CJ.
Yeah.
I like it.
Writes itself on
And you know what? You know what? They faced off day one in AC too. They faced off 4 times this year, and 3 of those games have come down to the final minute. That's an awesome matchup between QB. CJ versus TJ has been awesome so far to watch.
I like the Chargers.
Being uniform.
They almost went reverse with the powder blue, then the powder.
They had
yellow.
that TBT yellow shirt with the pad.
Powder yellow.
I like that. That's a good scheme.
I can do it.
Going through the rest of the teams here. 15 right out, 11-9-1 on the year, 6-4 out of FL. Wins over OTF, 13-7. Took a loss to the Punishers, High Rollers, and Misfits. Your thoughts watching Ride Out against the Misfits?
That instantly jumped up there to one of my favorite games this weekend as well. I'll say this. I know there's been talk back and forth. There's been posts about it. I've been tagged in it. I will say this about that game. I'm staying out of it. They need to figure it out. I know what I saw. from the angles that I had.
Right.
I also told them that when they were asking me about it. And I said I didn't have the best angle for what you are trying to figure out right now.
And even on the video, it's hard to tell.
I'm gonna say I'm staying out of it.
Let the line judge make the call.
Yup, I'm staying out of it.
But they still play great defensively, you know.
Misfits, obviously, all those guys are my guys. But Rideout's always treated me right.
Yeah.
As a media guy at this point, I'm staying out of it. Y'all figure it out.
Tough one there for Rideout, though. Great effort this weekend, but fell in the quarterfinals to Misfits. That defense has really brought it, though, the last few tournaments. Yeah. Just what it needed to be.
Great.
Number 14, Empire, 6-3 out of the XFFL bye week.
Rideout needs to be.
I'm
I
gonna
think you should switch those.
let's see how it goes. Empire played A in Lydia's Legacy and had a tight game with Punishers. They can perform on A. They beat Rideout. They had that championship nudge right now. Maryland Titans 13-8-1, 6-6 out of MFFL. Beat Dirty Birds and Southside. That must be a typo. Must be a typo. Autocorrect. Dirty Bird. I didn't get a chance to see either of those games. Lost to the Dragons. We already talked about the Dragons. You mentioned that game. That defense, 3 pick sixes. Lost to Rampage. I had that game. Titans were very competitive in that game.
3 pick 6.
Yeah.
There's I think 5 interceptions.
Total. He had that Matt Bailey kind of game. Matt Bailey had that performance against Punishers. Doc against Dragons.
Pena threw at least 3 or 4 himself in that game.
That's the thing. Defenses just step up like that
It's just-
sometimes.
Some of those weird flag games where it's just
Pick
it's
after
back and
pick after
forth,
pick.
but it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Gives me memories of John Show versus
Literally
Frank
picks-
Carter.
Yeah, one of those games versus
Great
Pick
times.
City.
It had 8 combined picks in that Warriors Ruckus game.
Pick City.
Yeesh. Pick City all the way, but Titans didn't work. Sunday, like I said, quarterfinalists to Rampage. Tight game. 28-21 was the final. Titans had a chance to win the game different times and pull and get the lead, but Rampage held on. They got the dub. Riot Squad number 12. They're 11-4-1. They beat Venom.
Titans didn't just figure out what colors needed to go with though.
Man, they can wear any color they want, man. Let them do their thing.
Listen,
I know you're a purist. I get it.
I've always
But that gold and
supported
red
the
rocks, the purple silver rocks. I like anything the Maryland Titans do. They're my
I
guys.
even
over
heard
there.
people walking by me saying that Titans seem like they got a new jersey every week.
You gotta grow the brand, man.
Yeah.
For years they didn't change jerseys. They had the same
Yeah,
ones.
One of the brands cool, but like
Nah,
they
they
buy
got it.
jerseys every week. What's going on the brand they really doing?
Oh man, come on. That's a weird criticism. They're my guys.
All right. Well, you can call it weird criticism if you want.
It don't matter how many you got. That's the thing about it, though. Don't worry about that stuff. To me, jerseys, grow it. It looks good. I like the gold and red.
That's part of
That
the-
was sharp. Taylor Suitors was rocking that
that's
thing,
part
bro.
of my problem with it.
And it's
Doesn't
the
fucking
tradition.
matter it's not traditional.
I
It
know
doesn't
you
matter
old
what you
school,
look like. It doesn't matter what you play like.
but they play great all year. Like I know, out circuit ball, the record has not been great. 6-6 is the record on the circuit right now, but they've been competitive with Scorpions. They beat them with Rampage. They beat the Misfits. They're good together, man. Like I said, this is number 13. I know you're critical of them a little bit, but they're gonna get it together.
They're still one of my favorite teams of all time.
I dig it.
Have been for a while now.
Yeah.
Stop with the Jersey shit. Remind me of the Maryland Terrapins, man.
I mean, they used to have Maryland Terrapin colors.
Switching fucking jerseys every week.
Come on, bro. Quit hating. Don't hate,
Not bad,
appreciate.
it's not hating.
Okay,
best
he's
part
on
is-
his soapbox. Let's go. Next one.
No. The best
Riot
part
Squad number 12,
I'm not
11-4-1.
The
We're
best part
done.
is
Come on,
Maryland
we're
Titans don't
done.
look at us hating either.
I know.
I guarantee you they go back and look at it.
Oh
like, you
god,
know,
we're
it's
done. We're done. Next topic.
So
Riot Squad, 11-4 and
I don't even know what
1.
soapbox is,
Just
dog.
keep going. Come on, chill out. Take another drink. We're good. Riot Squad, 11-4 and 1. Take a hit.
Chugging water,
I'm not chugging waters. I'm good now.
no, you literally.
I'm
are
watered.
chugging water.
We good. 11-4 and 1. Oh my gosh. Wins over Venom. That was 8-6. Tight ass game. That was competitive. Like Venom played them well. Riot's got probably a tough start. You come off a championship. That's your first game. The show me game looked like it was awesome as well. Close to competitive. Beat the bad boys, lost to the Dragons. We didn't get a chance to see much Riot Squad, unfortunately. So, but they're still one of the top teams that always bring it. I had them dropping though a little bit with addition to Baez Auto main event and a little bit more clarification on Lydia's legacy and all that and understanding of it. We'll go into that in a minute. But Riot Squad will keep going. They got a good record right now, 11-4 and 1. That shows you that they're a top team. 12 is no disrespect. Like in terms of teams that regularly play B, that is about a number 2 ranking or number 3 ranking, depending on context and circumstance. So Riot Squad, that's no disrespect. You guys, in my eyes, still one of the best, but there's other teams stepping up, like Baez Auto, 6-4 out of the AFFL. Wins over Dream twice this weekend. Doubled up on them. We told them they worked them earlier. Didn't see the Saturday game or the Sunday game. Just like I said, Ray Wagner had no fear all weekend. Like he came in and approached this tournament the best way. Yeah. Like we talked about how TJ Holston stepped up at A at Ocean City. Ray Wagner did himself, making a name for himself on the 9-man A circuit.
That's facts.
Yeah.
If Ray Wagner sticks with them,
He's gonna ball out, bro. Like
could
Misfits though.
easily be an elite rebel.
Yeah.
Baez, TJ Holston, Ray Wagner discussion.
I want to see that game. That needs to be a game.
That would be wild.
They got the Zangari brothers on Elite Rebels now, Dan and Ali. Like a lot of York talent on display this weekend. But with Baez, 2 wins on Dream. Lost to Misfits, however. Misfits, that was a game where they were up by 7 with 5 minutes to go, but Misfits rallied back, 3 scores late to win it. Did it the Misfit way. Main event got the win, but that was a battle. That Baez Auto main event game, if you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. That was an epic battle between those two. 28-24 was the final. Main event got the win. Bro, that game was insane. Baez Auto stepped up to the plate. Main event was a little faster. They were a little more physical, but Baez played. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. That record 6-4, it's not saying a lot until you look at the context of who they've beaten over time. They beat the Tri-State Spartans, who's the county runner-up, C bracket runner-up, 19-9 record, the team that's gotten a lot of wins on the circuit this year. They've done work. They've gotten wins as well over FOE, who just played A. They're a ranked team. Wins as well over Riot Squad, a team above them, who won Lydia's Legacy B, or below, I should say. Above them on the chart. And they've gotten wins on Brick Squad, who we saw what they can do in OC. And they also won Lydia's Legacy A. You know, you got to give it up to them. Wins this weekend over Dream, doubled up on them. Could have gotten main event, but Mike D at the end with the clutch touchdown. But Baez Auto, nothing to be ashamed of. They need to stay in A. This is an A team. Keep it going now. Top 10. Number 10 is going to be the Long Island Ducks, 10-7-1, 8-3 overall, the GCFFA. After some clarification and much thought, I decided to put them up a Riot Squad. You know, Riot Squad may have won Lydia's Legacy B, but Ducks had to move up because they're going 2-0 on Saturday to A. They got to the semis, lost to the Punishers. They play a great league. They beat Riot Squad at AC. I'm going to give them the lean over Riot Squad in that case. Number 9 is Misfits, 13-8, 5-6 overall out of OFFL. They beat Baez this weekend. Great comeback in the end to get that win. They destroyed Dream. My God, that was a beatdown. They just destroyed Dream. And then they got the win over Ride Out. I saw them against main event. Fell behind 24-0, had 2 late scores. Just not enough time, however, in the end. But Misfits, great performance this weekend. They came with a very stacked roster. They brought it to the table. This team definitely one of the best. You know, they're my third best team in the DMV right now. Yeah, like they're definitely going to be a player for years to come. Tough first meeting with main event, but they learned a lot. They'll grow from it. They're going to do better. Number 8, Takeover, bye week for them. Number 7, Rampage, 32-5-2 on the year.
Oh, man,
Yeah, 32-5-2.
you want to talk about a team just finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, they keep doing work. People might you give criticism, you know, for not playing A, but they keep getting the work done even on the B circuit. Wins over Gusto Land, 41-17. Most lopsided game so far in that series. They doubled up on Nomads, beat the Titans in the quarterfinals again. Got by a tough Dragons team, beat a very feisty Blackhawk squad. Give it up for Rampage this weekend. Number 6, No Mercy Scorpions, 19-14-2, 3-5 on the year out of Math 1 for Phil. Wins over FOE and Punishers, losses to the main event and High Rollers. I didn't get a chance to see the No Mercy Scorpions this weekend, so I can't really say much on them.
I covered them what, main event.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Scorpions? Travis Hale had food poisoning, so he missed Sunday.
Oh shit, he won there.
Yeah, they were missing a couple pieces, but they performed well. It happens. You know, Scorpions got to the semis, lost to a tough Rollers team. They'll be back. They'll do work. They keep growing. Love the performance of this guys this weekend. They'll get it back. We're going to keep rolling down the list now to number 5, Lions, bye week, 4 main event, 8-2. They haven't won a circuit tournament yet this year, but they performed very well overall. High Rollers, number 3, 11-2. They put in the work. Rollers, 11-2, back-to-back tournament appearances. They're putting in the work right now. Main event, though, they're not done. This margin from 1 through 4 is tighter than ever right now. Don't forget about the Lions. Don't forget about the Scorpions. Rampage, Misfits, Takeover, Ducks. Great season ahead. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. I'm Joey Blaze. Good night, everybody.